I'm with Brandon,
Yes.
and this is his 1.5-inch live steam locomotive.
Yeah. So this was built by Ken Graham back in 1965 for Galena Valley Western Railway down in South Central Coast. It ran on Galena Valley there until they tore the track out. And then a gentleman by Bill Ulesite got the locomotive from Ken Graham after he passed away, and ran the locomotive up until several years ago when he became just unable to physically pull it out anymore. So then I took over ownership of the locomotive from him, I purchased it from him, and been running it ever since for the last about 5 years now.
5 years? And what have you tell me about the upgrades you've done?
So some of the upgrades we've done, applied new paint, but all new. It was converted from oil to propane to be allowed to run here at Train Mountain. It is convertible back and forth. Within about a half hour, 40 minutes, you can swap between oil or propane. So everything's completely modular. It is a very heavy Pacific. It's not a normal, these are all custom one-off castings. So they're not a little engines casting. It's basically a northern in a Pacific's body. With the bore and the stroke. It's a 2 3/4-inch bore and a 4-inch stroke. So same bore as the northern, but a longer stroke. So much more horsepower. The engine itself alone weighs over 1,300 pounds. So it's about 400 pounds heavier than the Northern Pacific. So it's a really, really powerful locomotive.
How much water can you?
I can make it to Hope and back.
Wow.
With the water that's in the boiler and in the tank.
Okay. And there are refill spots along the way?
That's without stopping for water.
That's without stopping.
Yeah. So it's quite efficient on steam, and it holds quite a bit of water. The tender holds almost 30 gallons of water. So, but some of the recent changes besides all new propane control systems, so a new dash panel, main burner, pilot burner, so it's got a split manifold setup. It has the capability of, it uses all the Marty style burners. So Bill Bowler and I machined all of our own burners based on the Marty design out of half-inch hex stock. And over the period of a month to machine all the burners, enough for his K36 and this locomotive. And all the electrical.
Are these new too?
These are Chicago Super Scale injectors. So it has 3 different ways of getting water in the boiler. There's 2 Chicagos on there, and there's a Solaire duplex feed pump on the opposite side. Some special notes about the locomotive other than a normal Pacific is, we were talking before about the running gear. So that's stainless steel running gear, fluted on both sides. The eccentrics are graphitic tool steel, hardened to 62 in the Rockwell scale. Very, very over-engineered. We flushed all the cups out and all the bearings, put a dial indicator, had less than 2 thousandths play out of the whole running gear. So it's very, very, very overbuilt. Something that will hopefully outlast my lifetime. Pass it down to my kids.
That is amazing.
But yeah, it's a fun locomotive to run. It's very easy to run. The feed pump kind of you can adjust the speed of the feed pump as you go. So the locomotive, aside from pull and throttle, almost runs itself.
Wow.
Very efficient, very easy to run. Good for a beginner.
It looks intimidating.
It can be, but once you understand what all the little valves do, it's pretty straightforward. So I've taught a lot of people how to run engines like this and on this locomotive itself. A lot of first timers to the hobby. It's attracted a lot of new people to the hobby. So I think it's a good case for teaching people.
You've got quite a long consist.
Yeah, we have about 10 cars right now. We'll probably throw another 5 to 10 on it.
And how many people do you normally take?
Around Train Mountain, I can pull a dozen people in like 10, 12 cars around here with not too much effort. I've maxed out at other railroads, pulling about 45 cars and 2 other engines with it.
2 other engines, yeah.
So it's quite a good puller. Around here, we did the ops meet 2 years ago, and we took first place overall with the entire locomotive. We almost doubled second place points with the steam engine, and they were running diesels and electrics. So,
will you be back for this ops meet?
That's the plan. COVID.
We might be here too.
That'd be great. Yeah, COVID put a little bit of a hitch in that for everybody's plans, but the goal is to do many more ops meets with this locomotive.
And this, your
That's a good friend of mine. That's Mr. Milakovic.
last name? No.
No. And so he's an up and coming engineer as well. He's ran this before and he's getting pretty proficient at it. So he owns his own coal burner locomotive.
Mitchell, nice to meet you.
So yeah, so it's another youngster in the hobby.
So this can't do coal. It can only be oil.
It's currently set up for oil or propane. You might be able to do coal in it, but it would be a little more challenging. But just with the cab configuration and the tender.
How long does it take to steam up?
I actually like to take my time and steam up. I take at least an hour and a half to steam up, just so you don't stress the boiler. You let everything expand at its natural rate. And that gives me time to polish and clean and lubricate everything. I usually come out here early mornings, sit with a cup of coffee, and just kind of have my own little quiet time. So I enjoy taking my time to steam up.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much for sharing this, beautiful locomotive with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
What does that stand for?
That's Galita Valley and Western Railroad. So I wanted to keep it all in its original lettering. I didn't want to change it.
Oh, that was from before.
That's from where it came from originally and what it was built for. I have all the builder's plates of the original builder on there. A lot of people ask me, did you build this? I said, absolutely no, I did not. The person, the individual that built this locomotive has an incredible, ability of machining, which my abilities personally are not there yet. I hope someday it will be. But that's why I'm taking this as a good learning step, stepping stone towards that.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.